So good morning, everyone. Thank you for your attendance. I can see people from all around the world. Thank you for coming. This is the first debate that is focused on freedom of speech. My partner in here is Ahmed. My name is Alfonso. Our team strongly believes that freedom of speech should be restricted when it's used for offending others, or when it's used because in that manner it can damage others' reputations. That's our thinking. We have several examples of this. Our first-hand example, we have the Republican representative for the president, the candidate for U.S. presidency, that is Donald Trump. He has misused his freedom of speech by saying horrible things about women, in our example. He has offended several women. I have some quotation of him. He has said, "There was blood coming of her eyes, blood coming of her whatever," when referring to Megyn Kelly. Rosie O'Donnell is disgusting both inside and outside. When he was referring to Rosie O'Donnell, that is an actress, an international actress. "There will be pretty picture to see you at your knees." That is a sexual references to Brandy Broderick in a TV show, and she even has referring to Alicia Machado, former Miss Universe, as Miss Peggy and Miss Housekeeper. That is very, very offensive. And that is damaging women's reputation. These women probably in the future cannot find a perfect job. It will be difficult for them to find jobs or to be credible on everyone's eyes. Our second point is that our team strongly believes that freedom of speech should be restricted when it generates xenophobia, that is the hate of foreign people, and racism, because that may cause that actions that can harm another people. And as an example, we have the same character, the same political character, Donald Trump. He has stated several times, he has said horrible things about population all around the world, Middle East population and Mexican population. He has offended us, for example, when he has said, when Mexico sends its people, they don't send their best, for referring Mexican people. And the other thing, referring to himself's beliefs. Donald Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims enter the United States until our country representatives can figure it out what the hell is going on. These kind of statements by this particular character, as global known character, can raise feelings of xenophobia and racism against others. And this can lead to misperception of United States citizens of these specific populations, Muslims and Mexicans as well. We believe that these kind of statements can lead to aggression from United States citizens to these particular minorities all around the world. So these kind of statements, we want them to be restricted, even though that he is using his freedom of speech should be restricted because he's offending others and can cause that others be harmed. Thank you very much.
No clapping, so clap at the end, please, okay?
Hi everyone, my name is Athman and my partner is Michelle. There are many people around the world who are deprived of a basic, simple right as a human being, which is freedom of speech. Indeed, free speech is a basic right for everyone to express their thoughts and beliefs freely. However, the United States and the other democratic countries, such as the United Kingdom and Canada, believe that freedom of speech is an essential tool to for democracy to function. We agree with the idea that free speech is a basic human right. So, my teammates and I uphold protecting freedom of speech. On the other hand, there are many people who argue that saying free speech can be used to insult and discredit others. Again, freedom of speech is a constitutional right by a lot of democratic countries. So, people have the right to say whatever they want to say. But it gives to the people the right to defend themselves. Therefore, if someone spreads lies about you or tarnishes your reputation, you have the right to sue this person in court. Rest assured, it's not easy insulting others because there are serious consequences, such as financial compensation and incarceration. A post in Facebook or little word in Twitter can end up a person in jail. According to the Daily Mail, a student, Lamy Stacy, was jailed for 2 months for racist tweets sent after soccer player Fabrice Mumba suffered a heart attack. Yes, there is a freedom of speech, but people should take the responsibilities for their words. Even though the freedom of speech may cause harm, freedom of speech has a lot of positive aspects. First of all, free speech helps to eliminate corruption. When people have no fear to mention some corrupt people, even those who work for the government. If people, for instance, if people didn't have freedom of speech and their governor was a corrupt, who do you think will stop him? In fact, allowing people to participate has become a huge cause in development. According to the article, Protecting Freedom of Speech in Australia, George Williams states that another rationale for freedom of speech is that it plays a key role in enabling society to solve its problems. It's really important that all the people work together in order to have a prosperous country. Exercising your right to freedom of speech will help your country to further develop and function better in a democracy. Furthermore, putting limitation on the freedom of speech will lead to abolish and destroy the negative aspect and positive as well. In other words, when there is censorship and people speech and expression, there will be a grave consequences because government will have a chance whether people can talk about certain issues or not. Government shouldn't have an excuse in which they can control people's opinions as a dictatorial regimes that treat their citizens as a slave by forcing them to speak with accordance with the government desire. Otherwise, the citizens who raise their voices against some government action will be punished as traitors. In conclusion, advantages of a free speech outweigh disadvantages. So, does it make sense to get rid of the freedom of speech because of a potential harm? Freedom of speech is our right, and we should protect it at all costs. Thank you so much.
Okay, now we come to the question part. So the first question, Alfonso and Ahmed. That's okay.
Well, do you consider that freedom of speech can be used for offending others, regardless that it's a right in the Constitution?
Actually, freedom of speech has given the people two options: to say what they want and to defend themselves. So, people sometimes may misuse the freedom of speech, but will they take the responsibilities for their words?
So you are establishing that it has to be some kind of punishment for that kind of people that are misuse this freedom of speech.
There are already a punishment for people who misuse things.
What about people?
We have this particular candidate that we were talking about, and he has no punishment. People are voting for him.
She has the right to sue this person.
What about if I don't have the money? I mean, when he said all Muslim people, who is going to represent us Muslim people in United States for suing him? We don't have, in United States, they don't have this specific representation.
I don't understand the first question. They don't have money.
But yeah, well, not only money, but legal representation. Who is going to represent an entire population in United States for suing them, for suing him, sir?
Any person can do this. If you feel you are insulted,
What about
being
individuals?
insulted, you have the chance to sue this person.
What about individuals, like people who personally got insulted and they don't have the financial power to sue these people?
Actually, the United States will provide people with attorneys if they don't have money. So, also there is many organizations, non-profit organizations that provide people with attorneys.
So for everyone?
Yeah,
No.
For everyone in need.
yeah, I think so.
You think, but it's not true because many people cannot sue.
Okay, can we ask?
Yes, cool.
Okay, thank you. Did you think it's a human being's right to express their thoughts and beliefs?
To what, sir?
Don't you think it's a human being's right to express their thoughts and beliefs?
Well, we have to remember that everyone has the right to express and to believe whatever they want, but we want to be restrained for the negative aspects of freedom of speech, not the good ones. If you are speaking about someone's actions, humanitarian actions all around the world, we don't have problems with that. We do have problems when freedom of speech is misused worldwide by a legal representative of a country, in this particular example. We have one risk currently at global level if this candidate becomes the president of the most powerful nation in the world. This can lead even to war to another countries and will affect millions of people all around the world. So that's the reason that we are appealing for your knowledge, your background knowledge, and your cultural knowledge for the audience, because that will affect our countries all around the world.
Second question?
Well, we asked them our second question, so they can go.
Can you repeat?
It's about the financial.
If you are a journalist and you found a political corruption that resulted in some laws that authorized child labor in a country where there is no freedom of speech, would you say something about this issue or not?
Well, what we mean about restricting freedom of speech, we never talk about the government to have that power. We can have a particular organization, a civilian organization, and not governmental organization, that controls and applies these kind of restrictions to freedom of speech. In that manner, journalists, civilian people, regular population, some representatives can be restricted, or she can be defended by using his freedom of speech. We never said that the government has to apply these restrictions. Could be a particular non-governmental organization that applies those restrictions and defends the right of speech of others in benefit of the general population.
This is actually what dictatorial countries said.
Yes, right.
After that, they control everything.
Yeah, can I say something? Well, I believe that your team believes that we think that we should stop freedom of speech. That's not the case. We have to restrict it. You are defending a restricted freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So, at the U.S. So we are trying to restrict it more. We are asking for more restriction, not to stop freedom of speech at all.
So what would that will lead? That
Well,
limitation,
people
restrictions?
who decided to restrict the freedom of speech at the U.S. at the time, who you are defending, can also restrict more rules. And I believe that you trust them with the restriction they have now, so you have to trust them with other restrictions.
But now you have a right as a human being. After that, if the, for example, the organization that you believe in or that has your voice to talk about, like, or to represent you.
I can see that you're saying that it's a right for all human beings.
No, that's not, that's part of it. What I'm saying is, if the organization that represents you or represent any type of people, and didn't want to talk about what you believe in, what are you gonna do in that case? And you don't have the right to talk.
Well, we didn't say that you don't have the right to talk. You have it, but we have to.
But what he said, there's
If
a
it's against that.
ungovernmental.
Well, yeah, but we have to. The restrictions we are asking for is for is protecting people. You are trying to say that freedom of speech gives people the right to talk about whatever they want.
Exactly.
Our restriction is to protect people to say whatever they want from being offended or insulted from any other, like the candidate you talked
But
about.
actually, if you don't have people offending others, we will not know exactly who we actually live with. If
You can express the freedom of speech is, its foundations is that you can say whatever you say, you can disagree on someone's opinions, but always has to be in a respectful manner. And this particular character that I bring as an example is not respectful to others.
Okay.
All right, so it's time for the summaries.
I want to. Okay. I want to state our points briefly, and but I want to connect it with what they said. They said that freedom of speech is a right for everyone as human beings, but actually that's not true. This statement that everyone has the right to speak up, that is an opinion. When you bring some quotes from famous people, that doesn't give you the help. It's only a testimony, which we don't need at the moment. So our restrictions that we are asking for is to direct the freedom of speech, not to stop the freedom of speech. We want to direct it to the correct way, to the correct path. We are trying to make it beneficial. Like when we are talking about the first point my mate talked about was about offending others. So they are saying that freedom of speech gives people the right to say whatever they want. That's true, but our restrictions give people the right to say whatever they want by being protected by the law. So the law should protect people to say whatever they want, not without being insulted by others. So offending people actually is going to make our society sensitive, because everyone is going to hide who they are and hide what they believe in. Why? Because they know that freedom of speech gives people the right to offend them, to insult them. And yes, many people will say, well, I can sue them. You can sue them, but many people are afraid to. Many people don't want to go to the court. Many people don't want their family and friends to change their minds about it. They don't want to be insulted, even if they have the right to, sue anyone insults them. Okay? And the second part, the physical harmful that could lead to wars. I think that my mate gave clear examples, they were undeniable. And actually, from history, we can learn that. Like the example, I have an example of the German president, Adolf Hitler. He started with giving some simple speeches, not simple, but